Yo, yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Payoff Pitch presented by just me today, Kyle. Mike's at work, or yeah, he's at work, I think. So I'll be breaking it down. We only got a 5-game main today, so nothing too crazy. As far as I know, we have almost all the lineups out. Let's take a look. Pirates Mets is out. I have that updated. Obviously, Orioles Astros, Dodgers Cubs. So we're waiting on the 2 late games. It looks like St. Louis, Colorado, and Atlanta and San Francisco. Hopefully you guys are doing well on. What's up, buddy? Hopefully you guys are doing well on the very early slate. I ran a little Philly stack like we talked about last night. Put that in the. We launched a new pro panel section on these sheets for our members. So, bam, looking here. So you guys can kind of see who we're at, see where we're at right now. So interesting. Taking a look at the weather sheet. Baltimore Houston's going to be a nice warm game. Obviously, that is a dome, so they can negate and neutralize any weather. We have Chicago, Los Angeles, 68 degrees. Wind is barely blowing out. Nothing too significant there. St. Louis, Colorado, 55-degree weather. So something to watch for those of you guys looking to potentially stack that game, cold weather. We have Atlanta, San Francisco, 57-degree weather, but wind is blowing out heavy to center, 16 miles an hour. And we have New York and Pittsburgh, 73-degree weather. The warmest game on, well, Houston's warmest, but they're in a dome. But Pittsburgh outside, 73 degrees. So, let's see, what do we have? The highest implied totals for this main slate is going to be Colorado at 5.39, St. Louis at 5.11. Those are your top two. Giants coming at 3.89. Where are we at? Pittsburgh 4.56. That's probably the next largest. New York is at 3.94. Los Angeles 3.83, Chicago at 3.67. Yep. So only 3 teams above 4 implied runs. It looks like Houston's 4.61. So there we go. Yo, what about Brian Johnson so far on this early slate for the Red Sox? Already got 3 strikeouts. Chase Anderson has 4, I believe. Did he just get another one? Let's see. He did. He just got his 4th strikeout. Dude only has 32 pitches through the first 2 and a third inning. What's up, Keith? Yeah, dude, Johnson is balling. I hope you guys took a flyer on him in a GPP. I mentioned him in the pro panel this morning. He was my GPP pitcher for that early slate. So that is, well, I would say paying off, but I'm not playing for money. So it looks good, but unfortunately it doesn't get me any money anywhere. Oh, man. Whalen's getting blown up. Greinke's doing well. Strasburg's doing okay. A little higher pitch count than we'd like. So, good there. All right, so New York and Pittsburgh. Garrett Cole, Zach Wheeler. Mentioned last night, this wasn't really a game I wanted to stack on either side. I think I'm going to stick with that today. I don't think I've changed my mind too much. Of course, I'm going to look at Conforto as a one-off. I think he's going to be an elite one-off all year. I think you can look at Jay Bruce, but he hasn't had that power surge as of late. Travis D'Arnaud is a cheap punt catcher at 2,300. Someone you can look at. On the Pirates side, I think I can look at Gregory Polanco. Adam Frazier is expensive, but leading off, he's been hitting well. I can look there. Francisco Cervelli has hit righties really well this year, actually. He's got a 179 ISO, 320 WOBA, over 35% hard contact, 35% fly ball. So someone I can look at there. So, I mean, you could make a stack on the Pirate side. It is not my favorite. It did not make my... It did not make my top 3 stacks for my player pool. So I think both pitchers are in play. However, the highest I found myself going up for pitcher today is McCarthy. And that includes without... I did list Dallas Keuchel. He's one of my favorite pitchers on the slate. Actually, no, I lied to you. No, did I? Hold on, let me double check my lines. I don't want to lie to you, actually. So far, yeah, I do have Keuchel on the line. I apologize. I found a way to pay up to him. So, Keuchel and then Block are my 2 pitchers I'm looking at right now. So, talking about Keuchel, definitely not a guy I really want to throw any bats against. If you want to punt, I can make the case for Joey Rickard. Joey Rickard, 2,100. He's always been a platoon guy. He hits lefties well. That's pretty much all he does. So I make the case for Joey Rickard. On a 5-game slate, I really don't have a problem with playing a one-off against your pitcher. And in order to get Keuchel in, I found myself paying for Joey Rickard at 2,100. If he hits a home run, Keuchel can come back, strike out the next couple guys, and we'll be good to go. Wellington Castillo in the 2-hole is very, very interesting to me, though. He's known for hitting lefties better than righties. 52% hard contact. Manny has a 61% hard contact rate versus lefties. So those 2 guys are a little worrisome. And then a guy that you can also punt is Caleb Joseph, down at 2,300 for catcher, who has hit lefties well this year. 437 WOBA, 294 ISO. It's only 18 plate appearances, but 17 at bats in that. But definitely someone I can look at. So I think the 2 punts for me, if I'm going to play Keuchel, I can make an argument for Joseph and Joey Rickard. Yeah, the Pirates opened at 4.3. They're 4.6, 4.56, yeah. So they are going up a little bit. On the Houston side, this is one of my favorite stacks of the day. I really like a Jose Altuve. I can make the case for George Springer. He's a little expensive. Well, 3,300. It's okay. Let's see. I'll tell you guys the stack I had. So my stack right now is Altuve, Gaddis. I'm fading Correa. I'm gonna play Gaddis. Like his numbers. Marwin Gonzalez and Jake Marisnick. Now I know Marisnick has not hit lefties entirely well this year, but he's hot right now, and I can imagine that he can stay hot against Wade Miley. So there's a stack to be made in Houston today. They're one of my favorites. They're not my favorite right now, I don't think, but they're definitely one of my favorites. What's up, Steve? Good to have you, buddy. Chicago and Los Angeles. Now, this isn't a low implied total, but I really, really, really think you can attack John Lackey. I just don't like him as a pitcher. I think he's very, very attackable. Yo, Brian Johnson, by the way. God, he's balling right now, man. Seattle cannot hit lefties to save their life. So, look at him go. On this Philly stack, this Philly stack is going to do work. I promise. Watch this. I really like Chris Taylor, Corey Seager. And then I like Bellinger and Yasiel Puig. We know this team hits righties better. I'm really looking there, guys. I really am. Chris Taylor leading off at 3,100 is doable. Corey Seager, 3,400, when I think people will pay up to Coors. Cody Bellinger, 3,600 on FanDuel is fair. And then Yasiel Puig all the way down at 3K. So that is a 4-man stack I am all over right now. You can definitely try and get Yasmani Grandal in there. I think if you're going to stack Dodgers, I could 100% see the reasoning for playing him. Just a little too expensive for my liking. But if you pay down at pitcher, it can definitely be done. So I love that Dodgers stack right there. And then on the flip, I really don't like the Cubs again. I really don't. I think Brandon McCarthy is in play. I found myself, he's kind of like my fourth option at pitcher today. So not my favorite, not my least favorite, but I'm not stacking against him. I don't have any Cubs in my player pool. You could make the case for Ian Happ, but such a small sample size. But Brandon McCarthy has some K upside. He's keeping the ball on the ground, not getting hit hard, and his StatCast numbers are beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Under a 2.5% barrel ball rate. Love that, man. So McCarthy, 100% in play. Hold on one second. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. That didn't work. Oh well, that'll have to work. That'll do, pig. That'll do. So yeah, John Lackey, a guy I'm looking to attack. I like me a Dodgers stack. St. Louis and Colorado. Implied total has gone down. It went from 11 last night to 10.5. I mean, it's definitely still playable. I just don't find myself on a huge amount of Rockies today. I think I can make the case for Blackman, who's hot. Can make the case for Mark Reynolds. Those are the two guys I really look at for the Rockies today. I think you got to look at Arenado, but he's just so expensive. Cargo, yeah, you can look there. I'd imagine Trevor Story probably plays, actually. But you know what? I know we talked about potentially playing Kyle Freeland last night. I really think I'm on a Cardinals stack. If I'm gonna attack this game, I think I'm gonna go Cardinals today. I'm looking at Gorko. I'm looking at Dexter Fowler. I'm looking at Grichuk, who I know. Grichuk has not had a great year. Very well aware of that. 103 ISO, but it's something I'm looking at. And then you can look at Matt Carpenter as well. I find myself on the three: Fowler, Gorko, Grichuk. But you can definitely look at Matt Carpenter as well. I just don't think I like him as much as other guys. I'm not on Wainwright. Not going to pitch him. I just don't find myself stacking Rockies. I think they're too expensive, and I like some better options on the slate. And then, so with that, obviously, with looking at stacking the Cardinals, I'm not gonna stack. I'm not gonna play Kyle Freeland. I apologize. Wrong wording there. And finally, these might be two of my favorite pitchers on this slate if you're not playing Dallas Keuchel. I really, really like both of these guys' spots. Ty Block has had two really good outings in a row, and he's one of the cheapest pitchers on the slate. And people are going to see that he averages 10 fantasy points a game. Not a lot, right? But he had a negative 15 outing. That's going to immensely skew that number. He's had a 31 and a 40-point FanDuel outing last time. The last two times out, one was against the Cubs. I look at this Atlanta offense, and there's really not much that scares me. Matt Kemp does. Kurt Suzuki has hit lefties well this year in a small sample size. And Dansby Swanson has hit lefties well in a small sample size. So if you buy into those numbers, I can understand it. But I really like Ty Block today. I find myself on him. I have two lineups so far. Keuchel's in one and Block is in the other. But on the reverse, I'm not playing Giants. I like Micah Fulton-Newitz today. I think he's in a good spot. You put him in this pitcher's park. Away from home, look at his numbers. 289 WOBA against him, 235 average, 23% strikeouts, keeping the ball on the ground, not a lot of hard contact. So, I like him. I think you can look at him outside of what's that new? I don't even know the name of the new stadium in Atlanta. The name's not crossing my mind right now. If you're going to play any Giants, I think Belt, if he plays today, is a good one off. We know how he hits righties. And Denard Span, maybe. Maybe. Joe Panic, maybe. So you can make... I'm not going to go there. You can make the case if you want to attack Fulte. I don't think I do. I really think this is going to be a pitcher's duel. So I don't think I'd go there. But Block and Fulte, and then Keuchel. Those are my guys so far this year. Or this slate. So with that recap, Keuchel number 1, Block number 2, and my GPP pitcher is going to be Fulte. I guess you could make that Block as well. Either one of those two would fit GPP style. My favorite stacks are going to be... I'm going to go Dodgers 1, which could be crazy. They have the lowest implied total of the 3 teams I'm looking at. Dodgers 1. I'm going to go Houston 2 and St. Louis 3. So those are the stacks I'm looking at. If I look at let's go to this pitcher dashboard real quick. Why is Greinke on here? Greinke should not be on here. Here he pitched. I don't know why it's showing Greinke. Forget you don't see him. Or just pretend you don't see him. So McCarthy, Lackey. McCarthy has by far the best StatCast numbers. By far. 16%. Wow, this is really not cooperating. This is not who I had on here. Whatever. We'll roll with it right now. Fix it after. Keuchel, best pitcher on the slate according to this, but there is a little bit of a negative drop. Interesting to observe. McCarthy, not much of a change at all, but best StatCast numbers. Talked about that. Freeland had a nice increase, which is interesting. Also has good StatCast numbers, so maybe I'm crazy for stacking. Lackey does not have good StatCast numbers, but also got a bit of an increase when factoring in the Dodgers lineup and the run movement. So, something to watch for. But, yeah, that is where I am at, guys. So, short show, obviously. Only 5 games. I'm going to be hitting the road in about 30 minutes. So I'll be in River for the next 30. And then I'll answer any questions as I can, obviously. And most likely will be a late show tonight. Probably looking at about 10 o'clock my time. We're going back home and throwing my mom a little surprise party. So she doesn't know what's happening yet, obviously. So depending on when I'm able to get out of there and head back home, I'll set up and do the show. So sheets might be out a little late too, just letting you know. But I'll make sure they're out tonight, obviously. They'll be out way before tomorrow's slate. So appreciate you guys rocking with us. As always, hit me up if you got any questions. And let's have a profitable day, guys.